next on Brain Game. It is Crestview versus Riverdale. I have a feeling this is going to be a bodacious brain brawl. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU's Brain Game. It is Crestview versus Riverdale. This is a quarterfinal match. Let's meet our teams. Going to start off with Riverdale. Tell us who you are.
I'm Sam Thacker, and I'm a senior. To my right is Andrew Burkowski, and he's also a senior. To my left is Ben Burkowski. He's a junior, and our coach is Miss Thacker. All
right, Crestview, tell us who you are.
I'm Colby, and I'm a junior. To my left is Chelsea, and she's a senior. And to my right is Vincent, and he's a sophomore, and we are coached by Sandy Grooms.
All right, welcome to both of our teams. We're going to start things off with our toss-up round. In this round, all questions are worth 10 points. There is no deduction for an incorrect answer, so you can be a little bit looser on your buzzers. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal, I repeat, you can steal a question in this round. Riverdale, Crestview, are you ready? All right, toss-up round starts right now. During the siege and final assault at the 1836 Alamo mission by General Santa Anna, three famous succinct words were used by mission residents. Riverdale, Ben.
Remember the Alamo?
Remember the Alamo, yes. Created in March 1865, this organization was formed to provide legal aid, medical care, jobs, shelter, and clothing to both, that would be Crestview. Colby.
The American Red Cross.
Incorrect. To both blacks and whites displaced by the Civil War. By what name was this bureau known? Riverdale, would you like to steal? That is time. We were looking for the Freedmen's Bureau there. Freedmen's Bureau. Complete the analogy related to famous speeches. I've been to the mountaintop is to Martin Luther King Jr. as Ain't I a Woman is to blank. Riverdale, Ben.
Susan B. Anthony.
Incorrect. Crestview, would you like to steal? That would be Colby.
Tubman.
Incorrect. Sojourner Truth is what we needed there. When Friedrich Bartholdi designed his Statue of Liberty as a gift to the United States, what material that now exhibits a colored, that would be Riverdale. Andrew.
Copper.
Copper, yes. Primates, when compared to other mammals, have a larger cranium relative to body size. Of which bone structure in primates is the cranium a part? Riverdale. Andrew.
The skull.
The skull, yes. With regard to creation of memories, three basic steps occur. Encoding and storage are the first two. What term that begins with the letters R-E? Riverdale. Andrew.
Recall.
We will accept recall, yes. This American author is best known for his westerns. Name this man whose books chronicled the Sackets. One of his last books was The Last of the Breed. Riverdale, Ben.
Cooper.
Incorrect. Crestview, would you like to steal? That would be Colby.
Steinbeck.
Incorrect. Louis L'Amour is what we needed there. In many fairy tales, an object plays an integral role in the story. Give the name of the fairy tale in which a tainted apple plays. Riverdale. Andrew.
Sleeping Beauty.
Incorrect. Plays a major role. That would be Crestview. Chelsea.
Snow White.
Snow White is what we were looking for there, yes. She lived in the valley of Sorek. She betrayed a powerful Israeli judge for 1,100 pieces of silver. Identify this biblical woman who tricked the man who loved her into telling her the secret to his Riverdale. Andrew.
Delilah.
Delilah, yes. Developed in the 12th century, but popularized during the Renaissance in Italy as a performance by several singers, this type of song is sung in musical counterpoint. Identify the 8-letter noun that begins with the letters M-A, which designates this style of song or singers. Crestview. Colby.
Marachi.
Incorrect. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be Ben.
Matinee.
Incorrect. Madrigal is what we needed there. In 2017's The Emoji Movie, Gene, a multiple expression emoji, sets on a journey to become a normal meh emoji like everyone else. In which city is the 2017 Emoji Movie set? Riverdale. Andrew.
Textopolis.
Textopolis, yes. Queen Maud Land is located on this landmass that is also home to the Scientific Research Center, Riverdale. Andrew.
Antarctica.
Antarctica, yes. Now composed of 9 digits, these USPS numbers that hasten mail delivery were only composed of Riverdale. Andrew.
Zip codes.
Zip codes, yes. Which Chinese political faction, led by Mao Zedong's wife, Crestview? Vincent.
Communist Party.
Incorrect. I can finish the question for the other team. He got in before the buzzer, correct? So I will finish the question for the other team. Mao Zedong's wife, Jiang Qing, and 3 of her associates pushed Mao's policies during the 1970s and attempted unsuccessfully to take control of the country following his death in 1976. Riverdale, would you like to steal?
No.
They are saying no. We need a gang of 4 for that. All right, let's take a look where our score stands. Crestview at 10. Currently in the lead with 80 points is Riverdale. You're going to want to stick around. Our head-to-head round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Crestview at 10, Riverdale at 80 points as we get ready to move into our head-to-head round. But before we do that, looks like we have some substitutions. Riverdale, tell us who has joined your team.
To my left is Aaron Leese, and he is a junior.
All right, welcome to you. And Crestview, who has joined you?
And to my left is Cameron, and he's a junior.
All right, welcome to both of our new players as we do move to our head-to-head round. In this round, there are 15 questions. They're worth 10 points apiece. No deductions for an incorrect answer. Our teams can confer as long as they want, but here's the twist. The teams get the same 15 questions, but one team stays, the other one goes to isolation. We flip it, we do it again. At the end, we will see where our score stands. Anybody's game now. Riverdale at 80 points. You will be sticking around. That means Crestview, you are off to isolation. All right, Riverdale, are you ready for your head-to-head round?
Yes, sir.
Your 2 minutes and 30 seconds starts right now. How many symphonies did Beethoven write?
9.
Correct. What is the meaning of the prefix exo, as in exosphere?
Outside.
Correct. In what year were women granted the right to vote by the 19th Amendment?
1920.
Correct. What is the simple subject of the sentence, off the coast of North Carolina lie the Barrier Islands?
Barrier Island.
Will we accept that? Nope, just islands, sorry.
That's fine.
How many feet are in 1 fathom?
9.
6. The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. This quote comes from which of Shakespeare's plays?
The Merchant of Venice.
Henry VI. What liver disease is often caused by excessive alcohol consumption, resulting in the loss of liver cells and extreme scarring?
Pass.
Cirrhosis. What is the national capital of Australia?
Canberra.
Correct. What is the name of the scale used to measure the strength of tornadoes based upon?
Fujita.
Correct. The settings are Excelsior and Atlantic City, New Jersey. What playwright penned the play The Skin of Our Teeth?
Williams.
Thornton Wilder. Palmetto State, whose motto is Dum Spiro Spero, while I breathe, I hope.
Pass.
South Carolina. What major U.S. city was governed by Mayor Richard Daley from 1955?
Chicago.
Correct. In cooking, what is it called when you quickly boil a vegetable to set the bright color?
Blanche.
Correct. He played for the San Diego Padres and St. Louis Cardinals. What shortstop won 13 Golden Gloves?
Barry Bonds.
Ozzie Smith. In Shakespeare's As You Like It, an old servant goes with Orlando into exile. What is the faithful servant's name?
Patch.
Adam. That is all 15 questions in the head-to-head round for Riverdale. That means it is now time for you to go to isolation. All right, let's bring back Crestview. All right, welcome back to Crestview. Are you ready for your 15 head-to-head questions?
Yep.
This head-to-head round starts for you right now. How many symphonies did Beethoven write?
10.
9. What is the meaning of the prefix exo as in exosphere?
Outside.
Correct. In what year were women granted the right to vote by the 19th Amendment?
1920.
Correct. What is the simple subject of the sentence, off the coast of North Carolina lie the Barrier Islands?
Barrier Islands.
Incorrect, just islands. How many feet are in 1 fathom?
1,000.
6. The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. This quote comes from which of Shakespeare's plays?
Macbeth.
Henry VI. What liver disease is often caused by excessive alcohol consumption, resulting in the loss of liver cells and extreme scarring?
Liver cancer.
Cirrhosis. What is the national capital of Australia?
Canberra.
Correct. What is the name of the scale used to measure the strength of tornadoes based upon wind speed?
Finchita.
Will we accept that? I'm sorry, we cannot. Fujita is what we needed there. The settings are Excelsior and Atlantic City, New Jersey. What playwright penned the play The Skin of Our Teeth?
Pass.
Thornton Wilder. Palmetto State, whose motto is Dum Spiro Spero. While I breathe, I hope.
South Carolina.
Correct. What major U.S. city was governed by Mayor Richard Daley from 1955 to 1976?
Galveston.
Chicago. In cooking, what is it called when you quickly boil a vegetable to set the bright color?
Caramelizing.
Blanche. He played for the San Diego Padres and St. Louis Cardinals. What shortstop won 13 Golden Gloves?
Pass.
That is the end of the head-to-head round for Crestview. That means it is now time for us to clear our scores, and let's bring back Riverdale. All right, welcome back. Now let's see where we stand. Riverdale has 150 points, and Crestview is at 50 points. A very close competition. Only 100 points separate these two teams. Coming up next is our category round where things can change very, very quickly. We have questions worth up to 30 points apiece. But beware, deductions are going to start. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Crestview at 50 and Riverdale at 150 points. Crestview, looks like you have a new team member. Tell us who's joined your team.
To my left, we have Hannah.
All right,
and she's
welcome.
a senior.
Welcome to Hannah. Congratulations on being a senior. Riverdale, looks like you're sticking with your same lineup. All right, we are moving to our category round. Now, this is where the game shifts a little bit. The power moves towards our teams. They have 6 categories to choose from. Now, inside each category, our questions were 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But I must warn you, deductions start now. If you go for 20, you can lose 20 points. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. Crestview, since you are at 50 points, you get to make the first selection.
Let's go with Germany for 20.
Germany for 20 points. What city serves as the major financial and commercial center of the country? Riverdale, Aaron.
Berlin.
Incorrect. Crestview, Vincent.
Munich.
Incorrect. Frankfurt is what we were looking for there. Crestview still in control.
Let's go with Germany for 25.
Germany for 25 points. What country borders Germany to the north? Crestview, Vincent.
Denmark.
Correct. Crestview still in control.
Let's go Germany for 30.
Germany now for 30 points. Into how many federal states is the country divided? $16. Crestview in control.
Okay, let's go Germany for 15.
Germany for 15 now. What is the longest river in Germany? Crestview, Vincent.
The Rhine.
The Rhine is correct. Crestview in control.
Let's go Germany for 10.
Finishing off this category, what is the capital? Riverdale, Aaron.
Berlin.
Berlin, yes. Riverdale in control.
We'll do square roots exponents for 10.
Square root exponents for 10 points. What is 3 to the 4th power? Riverdale, Andrew.
81.
Correct. Riverdale in control.
We'll do square roots exponents for 15.
Square roots exponents 15. What is the square root of 225? Riverdale, Andrew.
15.
Correct.
We'll do square roots exponents for 20.
Square roots exponents for 20 points. What is the square root of 400 and Crestview, Colby?
21.
Correct. Crestview in control.
Let's go with American First for 20.
American Firsts for 20. What woman did Ronald Reagan appoint? Crestview, Vincent.
Sandra Day O'Connor.
Sandra Day O'Connor, yes. Crestview in control.
Let's go American First for 25.
American First for 25 points. First U.S. president did Crestview, Vincent.
Washington.
Incorrect. To die while in office. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be Andrew.
Harrison. William.
Will we accept that? Yes, we will. William, yes. Riverdale in control.
We'll do square roots exponents for 25.
Square roots exponents for 25 points. What is 7 to the 3rd power? $343. Riverdale in control.
15 letters. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll do square roots exponents for 30.
Finishing off that category. What is -2 to the 5th power? Riverdale, Andrew.
Negative 32.
Correct. Riverdale in control.
Science 10.
We'll do science begins with E for 10.
Science begins with E for 10 points. What adjective describes a plant or animal that has died out or disappeared? Riverdale, Andrew.
Extinct.
Correct. Riverdale in control.
We'll do science for 15.
Science for 15 points. What tiny particle having a negative? Riverdale, Andrew.
Electron.
Correct. Riverdale in control.
We'll do science begins with E for 20.
Science begins with E for 20 points. What do we call a piece of iron that becomes a strong magnet when electric current Crestview, Colby.
Electromagnet.
Correct. And power shifts to Crestview.
Let's go American First for 30.
American Firsts for 30 points. Who was the first female to serve as the U.S. Secretary of State? Madeleine Albright. Crestview in control.
Let's go American First 15.
American Firsts for 15 points. First official U.S. Secretary of State. Crestview, Colby.
Jefferson.
Jefferson, yes. Crestview in control.
Let's go American First for 10.
American First for 10, finishing off this category. What astronaut was the first man to walk on the moon? Riverdale, Aaron.
Neil Armstrong.
Correct. Riverdale back in control.
We'll begins with FRE for 10.
Begins with FRE for 10 points. Identify each of the following people, places, or ideas that begins with the letters FRE. If the correct response is a person's name, his or her last name begins with FRE. Goods carried as cargo by truck or ship. That will be Crestview. Hannah.
Freight.
Freight, yes. Crestview in control.
Okay, let's go with begins with FRE for 20.
Begins with FRE for 20 points. Adjective that describes an event which occurs at close intervals. Riverdale, Andrew.
Frequent.
Frequent, yes. Riverdale in control.
5 for science.
We'll do science begins with E for 25.
Science begins with E for 25 points. What is the point on the surface of the Earth called that is directly Crestview, Colby.
Equator.
Incorrect. Above the focus of an earthquake. Riverdale, Andrew.
Epicenter.
Epicenter is what we needed there, yes. Riverdale in control.
We'll do science begins with E for 30.
Science begins with E for 30 points. What is the scientific name for red blood cells? Crestview, Hannah.
Erythrocytes.
Correct. Crestview in control.
Let's do begins with FRE for 30.
Begins with FRE for 30 points. Capital of New Brunswick, Canada. Crestview, Vincent.
Fredericton.
Correct. Crestview in control.
Let's go with begins with FRE for 25.
For 25, capital of Sierra Leone. Crestview, Vincent.
Freetown.
Correct. Crestview in control, making a move.
Let's go with begins with FRE for 15.
Begins with FRE for 15. A photographer or writer who submits work for Riverdale, Andrew.
Freelancer.
Correct. Riverdale in control.
We'll do name the author for 10.
Name the author for 10 points. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Riverdale, Sam.
Vern.
Correct.
We'll do name the author for 15.
15. Name the author. Tarzan of the Apes. Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Name the author for 20.
For 20. King Solomon's Mines. H. Rider Haggard. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Crestview currently at 190 points and Riverdale at 325 points. Still anybody's game, because coming up next is our brainstorm round where questions are worth 20 points apiece. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Crestview 190 points, Riverdale 325 points in this quarterfinal match. Riverdale, looks like someone has rejoined your team. Who's back?
To my left is Ben rejoining us.
All right, welcome to you. Crestview staying with your lineup from the last round? All right, we are moving to our brainstorm round. This is it. All questions in this round are worth 20 points. Negative 20 points. I repeat, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but no stealing in this round. Riverdale, Crestview, are you ready? This brainstorm round starts right now. Liberty and independence is the motto of this first state. Crestview, Colby.
Massachusetts.
Incorrect. Delaware. Which state is home to Yosemite Falls, the highest? Crestview, Vincent.
California.
Correct. What U.S. city is home to the Stratosphere Tower? Crestview, Vincent.
Las Vegas.
Correct. What is a perfect score in bowling? Crestview, Colby.
300.
Correct. What Asian country is home to Lake Balkhash? Crestview, Vincent.
Russia.
Incorrect. Kazakhstan. What percent of 50 is 15? Riverdale, Andrew.
30%.
Correct. What is 20% of 70? Riverdale, Andrew.
14.
Correct. What is the official currency of Switzerland? The franc. What state is home to the French Quarter? Riverdale, Ben.
Louisiana.
Correct. What U.S. president was famous for his fireside chats? Riverdale, Sam.
Franklin Roosevelt.
Correct. What is the simple subject of the following sentence? Bring me the sugar. Riverdale, Andrew.
Me.
Incorrect. You. What type are the pronouns mine, yours, his, and Riverdale, Ben.
Possessive.
Correct. What eon followed the Precambrian eon in the history of the Earth? Crestview, Vincent.
Paleozoic.
Incorrect. Phanerozoic eon. The Mexican city of Nuevo Laredo is located in the state of what? Crestview, Vincent.
Chihuahua.
Incorrect. Tamaulipas is what we needed there. In Dickens' Great Expectations, what jilted bride lives in an overgrown mansion? Riverdale, Ben.
Miss Havisham.
Correct. What is the one factor that causes glaciers to move? Gravity. Fill in the blank in the following title of an F. Scott Fitzgerald short story. The diamond as big as the blank. Ritz. What chemical element is represented by the symbol CF? Californium is what we needed there. What singular end of round? Let's take a look at our score. We have Crestview at 170 points and our winner, Riverdale, with 425 points. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's come out, meet in the middle, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.